Just parking myself up here.
Nice safe spot up there.
Yeah. On a sleepy kitty. Alright. So what do we have this week? We have Raging, Explosive, Fortified. Explosive's actually pretty nice. I kind of like explosive.
Yeah, I think it's really easy for most DPS to be able to keep up with it, and tanks can even keep up with it easily.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it on my shaman. I haven't played explosive yet, but I know I could just frost shock the shit out of everything. My damage will suffer, but for the best. Raging is kind of hard though, sometimes, especially with Fortified.
Yeah, on Fortified weeks, it's a lot of get out of dodge and have hopefully you got some soothes and stuff like that in the group too.
Yeah. So I feel like I say this every week because like I just like having like binding shot and knocks and stuff like that, but like we want to hold like things like leg sweep, we actually want to hold like towards the end of the pull now versus like using it to stun.
Yeah, definitely backload on any kind of CC or anything you have to just the end of the fight, because that's when it's going to get real dangerous.
Like binding shot or trees or anything like that, we want to use at the end. And if we're tanking, you know, just like fucking run. The only thing, so I have other side open now, which is actually kind of an important dungeon for Raging, I think, because like
those guys.
This
right
guy already. Oh, I fucked it up. Okay, this guy already rages, which will 100% extra damage, and then if he rages again, then it's 50. So he's just like completely non-tankable. Now I think druids will soothe all raging effects, but I think hunters might only soothe one, or maybe it's rogue. But it's worth looking into.
I think it's rogue that only soothes one, but yeah.
Gotcha. So I'm playing my druid. I'm basically like, sometimes this guy will rage. He'll do his like rage cast. I don't know if it's like percent based or not, but sometimes he'll do it, and then I know he's gonna pass that like. So like they enrage at 30% health. So if he has this raging buff and he's about to hit 30, like hold your soothe, so that you could take both of them off. Because sometimes what'll happen is you'll soothe the like raging, and then this buff comes up, and then he's at 0% health and he's unkillable for the duration because you already spent your soothe. So you can kind of get baited in this dungeon. It's a little weird.
Yeah,
but he'll hurt. These guys, I mean, these packs I feel like aren't super dangerous. I mean, obviously the speaker's always dangerous.
Yeah, if he gets a bunch of casts off, like if he gets some Death's Embrace off with Raging, would probably just one-shot your tank.
Oh, the Raging with the haste things, they'll chunk you. Yeah, so Death's Embrace increases haste by 40. Yeah, so if they're raging and they have a bunch of haste, they'll just start wrecking you.
And I think a lot of people, and especially a lot of pugs and stuff, just get your pugs to watch for that, because that's the one cast they seem to miss all the time.
Or if you have a mage, they like to steal it. So maybe that's why it's like weird. Sometimes people don't know if they're supposed to kick it or not. This guy is dangerous as hell. Actually, these are like basically mini bosses, these mask guys, because like a lot of the time what'll happen is he starts his rage at like 40%, and then he passes and he enrages like with the affix enrage while he's casting that, and then it becomes like insanely powerful. So it's something that I always try to watch for on my druid.
Yeah, definitely the one you can earn stun. You'd probably want to just hold it until his second one, just so you can hopefully get it while he's raging. The other one, just good luck.
The other one's like have your CDs, have everything ready. I don't know, do people skip this? I feel like they skip it, but I don't like it because it pats around, so like you can pull it later. Maybe that's some advanced stuff that we could try one day, but I'm not feeling it. I think I'm trying to think, like, is there a world where you lust this if you have it? I don't know. It sounds extreme. Just be ready.
Yeah, you just be ready.
Just
have
immune
some
it if you can, yeah. Or just do an insane damage. I have the route where we go over here, so we'll go this way. Same thing with the speaker, yeah. This area is fun, but it's also like really scary. This is like where the DPS, basically like the group like carries the tank in here with raging, because when you pull all of these, and then they're all raging at the end.
Yep,
and the bombs,
knocks,
like,
stuns,
so basically
everything.
like your healer is usually like trying to get all the bombs, and your tank becomes in extreme danger towards the end of the pull. Basically the tank just needs to run because the healer is usually busy or the DPS is busy. It can get spicy, but this is like really where like if your group like works well together, this is like really a place for that to shine, like if your group's coordinated, in my opinion. But I guess that's always the case with Ardenweald. I just love this section. So nice. I have little notes here now.
Yeah,
pull everything that isn't a hatchling or a matriarch
or a dragon. You can pull, the better.
Oh yeah.
Big pulls are always fun.
Yep. And it is a week where you could bring all this shit down, or whatever we're comfortable with, we can bring it onto dealer, I guess, because there's no reason not to. I mean, other than like it hurts. Like they're not gonna bolster it, they're not gonna drop sanguine where the boss gets healed, so that's like optional for the flex. This pull actually is this pull and this pull are very dangerous. These guys hurt like even just on normal weeks, I feel like, tanking, right?
Oh yeah, especially if they start spinning up in the middle of the group, and as a tank sometimes
these guys
you just can't get out.
So dangerous. This is like where we want to save like beam and like stuns. Like if we have a pally, we could just hodge it, cap totem, like towards the end of the pull especially, or just like have your kicks well assigned, like just mark them all and call it, because towards the end of the pull this is gonna really hurt. Like just use your CDs, so there's no reason to save for boss, I think.
No, on Fortified, definitely blow your CDs on the trash.
For sure. Alright, we'll save halls for last because I kind of like want to make a route. This one I'm doing the skip with the Bloodhorn. This can be tricky though, because this fight is gonna involve soothing this guy's cast, soothing the boss that enrages normally, and then also soothing this when it rages.
And then trying to get a double soothe if he goes to tantrum again.
True, exactly. Yeah, so there's a hell of a lot of soothes going on in that pull. Maybe bring a hunter and a druid or something. Something I saw Firen do, I think you were in that run, right? Where he basically just was like, let's just go to the fire boss first. Because I always come down, I do this, and then I'd come over here and do Sog or whatever is there. But if Sog's there, I think just like, fuck it, get him later, unless you really need the buff.
Yeah, Sog's buff is kind of useless, so I wouldn't say it's really needed.
Let me change the week for this, my bad. Let's see, what is that? Varuth now?
Definitely go in if you need Varuth.
Yeah,
Varuth
for sure.
Usually has good stuff for people.
This is Frost, so we would go, if we're doing Firen's idea, then we would go over here to Firecaller first. Which is nice, I like that, because it really doesn't matter, like, sometimes, I mean, if I'm coming out of this wing and I have Incarn, like, I'll kind of just want to do this pull, or, like, whatever the CDs are. Yeah, this is, like, pretty straightforward. What I did is we go to the Bone guy, and then we pull these two, and that's, like, almost 3% there, versus this pull is a little more than 3%? I don't know. I know we normally do these Tornado guys, but I feel like we've lost so many keys on this platform that I kind of want to just stop going there, because it's not worth the risk.
It is more dangerous. Like I was in one earlier today that somebody got just knocked into the group on the side there by a tornado. So even if you don't get knocked off, you can easily pull other stuff in there. Wipes the key.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas this is okay, I think. I mean, this guy might hurt like raging.
Yeah, just have a soothe for him. That's the best you can do there.
For sure. This one always sucks. Not necessarily too bad. I feel like even with like Fortified, these guys kind of die quickly, and we're pretty good about assigning kicks or like claiming kicks, you know. So not too bad. These guys actually will fuck you up when they're raging towards the end of the pull.
Yep, same thing. Save some stuns for him at the end there.
Yeah. Oh god, what have I done? What have I done? Wait, hold on. Is this even worth going back? Okay, here we go. That was easy. Yep. Raging, bleedy guys. These will hurt. Maybe skip this. Actually, maybe I redo this route and I skip this. To be honest,
that might be the play.
Let's see. Let's skip this and then we add. Yeah. Add something here. Insert after. A little tip. You can do insert after to make the pull here. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So we could add this, and then the previous one we'll insert after. We'll get this. That? No, that's too much. That's weird count. Well, we usually skip one of those. Yeah. That's fine. We could be a teeny bit over. Better than pulling this.
Yeah, I think that's way more dangerous than pulling everything else that was over there.
For sure. Cool. Alright, well that's a good route, I think.
And if you can skip a little ghosty do.
Yeah. So this is just my chill necrotic that I copy pasted. There's really nothing crazy. I mean, unless you're pulling like Narzuda, there's really no trash that's like nuts. Because these you always stun or kick the harvest anyway, so it's not too bad. Really just when you get upstairs, like these big boys, raging is gonna truck the tank, and it's fortified, so them living longer will make it a little bit more dangerous. I guess just if you're a tank,
low orbs is the way to go.
Yeah, that's true. As a DPS, like if you have a way to taunt and communicate with your tank to like let them drop stacks is like really good. I always try to do that, like, or I'll try to like trees or Earth Alley or something, like when the tank has like 2 stacks already, then trees to prevent it from refreshing, and then let them get to like 1 and 2 again, and then you're probably fine. Like I feel like 2 stacks is fine when I'm tanking, even 3, but like I think 2 is a good point to reset.
And the same thing with tanks. If you're a tank and you can time the cast right, you can get away and probably run for just enough time to drop your stacks to get back in.
For sure. Spires, the trash in here can be a little spicy. These guys, if not managed properly, like if they say they start raging and then they all jump out and start hurling on people, that could be like a death sentence. What I did recently when we were doing, were you in the Spires run we did? I think so, right?
No, I was watching it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like so I started the LOS here, and then it was sanguine. So like once it started to drop, then I LOS'd here, and then once it started to drop, then I LOS'd there. Just like don't let them throw shit at your squad. That's like the one job of tanks. It's a little scary. Or split it up, I guess. If I'm like scared, then I'll split it up. But it's been a while since we had to split this pull. I think these ones are nothing really changes in this pull. Like you're already not tanking it at the end.
Get some aggro and run. That's the best thing you can do there.
Literally it. And if you're like a ranged DPS and you have threat, just kite. Like don't be like, oh my god, I have threat. Just kite. It's fine. I don't know. Like sometimes on my frost mage, like I rip threat off the tank, and like say I'm here and they're coming at me, I just blink here and put a blizzard there, and then they're coming at me and then I blink here. Fine. Like I feel helpful sometimes. But yeah, just keep them in a pile, slow them down. That's normal for that pull. People know that. I'm in favor of this double. We have CDs. The fists never really get off. I mean, if a raging fist gets off, like, I mean,
yeah, that's a
mistakes were made, but yeah, I mean, they do punch the tank, so, but nothing else really needs.
I mean, the birds can be stunned and everything if they go to cast and raging, so it'd probably be all right.
So I think the deal with these is if you get in melee range, they'll stop throwing shit. I think that's the case. It seems to happen every time. I'm not okay. Yeah, sounds about right.
And the best thing with those is if you're like a ranged DPS or something, put yourself against a wall, because they'll usually jump out to that wall and it'll keep them closer. Like,
oh, that's
put
right.
yourself against the closest wall.
They do a swift slice, and it's always at a player. So if you could like bait it into a wall or like next to the pack, like if they're out of the pack and your tank's not pulling them back in, like bait it back into the pile. Also, don't be Like, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, but if you stand in a way where if he charges someone behind you, he's gonna hit you and them, that's not a good idea. Like, it's kind of like a bit much to think about, but like, if you're ranged, stand in a way that he can't charge and hit two people at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't know. Something I've noticed, like, I'll be like standing somewhere and he'll charge someone else and hit me, and I'm like, oh no, I'm an idiot. I say this every week. I want to start skipping this stuff, but I haven't figured that out yet, so I haven't worked out the route yet. Raging Hellion, oh boy. Yeah, okay, and it's Ruth. This pull, I need to split this fucking pull up. Hold on, I can't even allow this on my screen. No. All right, there you go. 2 pulls. Yeah, Raging Hellion's gonna hurt. These guys, and it's normal. These guys, not having a soothe for all 3 of these is gonna kind of suck. So just have a soothe, I guess. It's gonna be the title of the video. Just have a soothe, I guess.
Just have a soothe.
Yeah. Sanguine Depths. This is kind of just a route that I like threw together. It's just walk straight route. Let's see what hurts. Raging Mistdancer. If you get hit by that, I mean, it already hurts. So
yeah,
I don't know. A lot of the trash in here is not too bad. These guys raging is gonna suck. This is like a leg sweep type of moment when they're raging at the end. Raging Brute, I feel like doesn't really matter too much.
Matters for your DPS. Your DPS want to have some kind of cooldown if he goes to charge at you while raging, because that could hurt.
True. So this Consuming Strikes. Oh. I've never really thought about this. I knew that he healed himself somehow, but I couldn't tell if it was the circle. Let's see. Oh, he leaps, leeching health from all enemies within 6 yards. Oh, dude, okay. So it hurts everyone, but it only leeches the health when he lands. All right, I'm learning shit in this episode, everyone. Because remember, for the longest time, I was like, you could just stand in the fucking swirly. It's the same damage. He's actually been stealing health from me every fucking time. All right, I just exposed myself. Anyway, now we know. Let's read tooltips.
Sounds like it. Sounds like Frank standing it for damage.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy. I guess this guy's like the Prio Soothe because he puts a bleed on the tank. Nothing too bad. I don't feel too scared about Sanguine Depths raging. Oh, okay. We haven't been thinking about explosives at all. So like this big pull, I mean, usually this is 2 pulls, but I have it as 1 here just for funsies. But yeah, like this is gonna be a lot of explosives as well as a lot of healing, and it's fortified. So like if you're like, if we're doing a thing where like our healer's in charge of bombs, like maybe don't for that pull, or just be mindful of that. A lot of the times, like, I don't know, if you have your healer in charge of bombs, they can get overwhelmed pretty quick, and usually those pulls are also like the pulls where there's a lot of mobs that spawn a lot of explosives also probably require a lot of healing towards the end of the pull. So it can kind of overwhelm them quickly. So if you're like the explosive person and you're the healer, like communicating helps. Be like, yo, I need help this pull. Or be like, hey, Drand, I need you to help me this pull, or something. Like whoever doesn't have CDs, like you don't want everyone to be doing bombs because then you're just wasting and like overlapping, but you don't want no one to do it, and you don't want to be like afraid to ask for help. It's better to just like have someone else do it and help you than die.
Yeah, I think that's one scary thing about raging and explosive being on the same thing. Usually you stun to try to stop some explosives from starting up to begin with, so now you're holding those stuns, therefore you're gonna get more explosives early on.
Oh, that's another good point about let's go to other side really quick. So like this jar pull, during the jar stun they won't spawn any orbs. Like if you pull a bunch of shit and then jar, like whoever's doing the orbs can like pump damage for the duration, and then they're immediately gonna have to swap. I guess the biggest danger in this wing is actually gonna be bombs getting off. Yeah, this is very fun. It's very engaging for like everyone in the group, I think. Yeah, nothing else too bad about Sanguine, in my opinion. This area, I think they all spawn bombs. Yeah, right.
I don't think all of them. I think the certain
I feel like some of these
packs-
are like non-affixy mobs, but I'm never
Yeah.
sure which ones. I think these ones, I don't know. Maybe take
Yeah, I
it
think
easy
it's
in there.
a portion of each one of those poles that
Okay.
spawn the bombs.
That makes sense. Okay, let's go to Plaguefall. I don't know those ones. I don't think it's too bad. Like there's a few like prio mobs, like this guy raging or whatever, gonna hurt. These guys usually flee towards the end of the pole, so I feel like them raging, they might not be meleeing the tank anymore. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, but the problem with them
like,
fleeing
that's the
too is they
case.
might spawn a bomb like way off in
Oh, good call.
Neverland.
Yeah, definitely something to be aware of. Yeah, for sure. These, oh, okay, so a trap here is that a lot of times we'll CC the ad. If you CC the ad and you go to another platform, it's still spawning bombs in the distance, which can be very sketchy. So either kill the ad or like, I don't know if your healer has like a really long range thing to get it, but it's probably almost better to kill the ad because it's fortified. Like it won't take too much damage. I don't know, just something to be aware of. If you're CCing the ad, it will continue to spawn orbs, I believe.
No, I don't think you've
Or does it
CC'd
not?
it. I'm pretty sure if it's CC'd, it doesn't spawn.
Oh,
orbs.
okay. If it's rooted, it does. My CC is
Yeah.
bullshit. If you para it, probably
Yeah,
not.
if it's parrot or
Okay.
anything else like
That's
that.
actually a
then
good
it should
call.
be. I don't know if Hunter Trap will do it. Hunter Trap might still allow it to spawn bombs too.
I think not. So basically, if I root a mob, it can still cast, so it's still like in the pole. But if you trap a mob, it can't cast, so I think it's not in the pole. So that actually, yeah. So basically, my roots are a trap here, but everyone else's CC is fine, I guess. I don't know. Like if you like, I don't think you can sheep it, but if you sheep something, I don't think it'll spawn. I don't know. We'll have to learn this the hard way this week. This pole can be a little bit spicy. Fortified raging. Okay, so I don't know if I've talked about this in previous episodes, but there's like 2 kicks here and a stun, or 2 stuns that need to be done. So like this guy will call ads, creepy crawlers, and then the sniper always calls Venom Fang, which is like a beefy ad that gives no count. So you always want to kick both of those. So usually like that's why you'll hear me say when we go in this pull, like, all right, I'll get creepy crawlies. And that way like everyone else knows that they could just get the sniper or vice versa. Good to know. These guys, if the ambushers get off, they will spawn bombs. That can get kind of out of hand, and it is fortified, so probably big danger there. And down here, these guys will spawn bombs too, if you aggro all of them. So probably like just one person or 2 people need to be like full-time bombs here. Like maybe the healer and then like a rogue or DPS or something.
Very careful with. I know a lot of range like to go off to the right while everybody else is going to the left to start up that pack. Be very careful with that this week because you will start spawning bombs and you better be able to keep up with them.
I'm looking at you, Boomkins, with your Starfall.
Every time.
Also myself. It's so this is such a nice Starfall room because you could hit everything and just fucking chill and dot and, you know, Starfire. Alright, what else do we have? Mist is kind of, I don't even make routes for Mist because you kind of can't. It's actually kind of chill because you're like forced to fight smaller packs at a time. This Mist Caller boss with bombs is toxic as hell. Like, at least it's not tyrannical, but like someone needs to just be bombs during the intermission, in my opinion. Like,
yeah,
some
you
people
definitely
can
want to try to get a
probably
range
handle it,
on that. But sometimes a tank can do it. Like I'll do it sometimes with a tank if I've got some type of range. Like if I'm on my Guardian Druid, I'll usually just start throwing some
yeah, exactly,
beams out at stuff. But
it's
yeah,
like
usually you want
something.
to get a range to do that.
If you're doing it, like, it's your full-time fucking job turning your camera during the intermission because they're just spawning all over. So I literally just sit there and I turn the camera, moonfire. And that's like fucking it. The big pulls here, I guess, you know, whenever watch for the things. These guys raging, I feel like they don't really do anything, the smallies. And then raging reavers putting like double poison stacks on people hurts. I'm still in favor of just CCing these, but sometimes they get pulled.
Yeah, they're definitely something you want to try to skip and not have to do that pack.
The ads in this fight will spawn bombs as well. Something to be aware of.
Pretty much bring a Death Knight to get them in as close as possible.
True. Alright, so now we make a Halls route. So I guess with this first pull, you don't want to go too big, because if say like he's thrashing on Fortified and one bomb goes off, like everyone's gonna fucking die. So I'm almost hesitant to do too big. But what we have been doing is like this, that, and this. So I guess I would CC this pack, pull all of this, and then when it's down to just like the shard and one other, then pull that. That way there's not too many bombs at once. But raging bolts are gonna fuck you up. So like maybe even do this. And then when these are dead, bring those in. And then that. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, kind of slow roll the big pull on that one.
Yeah. Just because the bombs, like, the tank needs a bunch of heals, especially if there's raging bolts going off. And then I'm just assuming that the healer is doing orbs. I guess that's not the case for everyone. But the healer is going to get overloaded. And especially the first pull of the dungeon, they might just be like, yo, fuck you, I'm leaving. If they're not like your friend, I don't know. And then usually the CC expires when this guy gets in here anyway, so I'll just include it. But don't do this whole thing at once is my recommendation. I used to pull this pack because I used to do this, right? That's the pull I used to do. But I stopped. Now we'll do it like that. So I don't even pull that anymore. I don't think I need to. Then this is a pretty standard second pull. Then this. And then like that is fine, or add it to that pull, whatever works.
It's anything, you like add it later if you need to, if there's too many explosives going off.
And then this is where it really splits between if you're a bear or not. So basically what I usually do is like coming down this hill, I look at my team's cooldowns. And if we don't have huge cooldowns, then I'll do Frosty. If we have huge cooldowns, then we'll do Big Pull. I kind of like that. This point is like, kind of choose whatever you want to do. I think this is pretty good. Even if you don't have Incarn, you just got to have a way to like get out. And then if you're a bear, you pull all of this. And it's a good time to pull a bird, I guess. Good damage. If not, then bird this.
Yeah, I'd say bird the bigger pack over the little pack there.
Yeah. I like pulling all of this.
Me too.
So okay, here's what you can do it like that if you wanted to even out the pulls because of the bombs. Oh, okay. So bombs during this pull is actually spicy. So what I may do is add these in whenever you're comfortable. That way you only have 7 targets during this, or 8 targets during this pull. Wait, do I know how to count? No, 8. Okay, 9. Whatever. I'm still in favor of this large pull. It's very fun. And then you can get the secret bird up here. And we have too much count. We have 82, which means we can drop a pack of groundskeepers or 2. So let's drop this because... yeah, that seems... oh, so only 1. That's fine. I don't know. That's what I like about Halls is that these groundskeepers packs, like, you can just pull whichever ones you want. Like, if you don't... like, if you pull this one, that's fine. Don't pull this one later. Kind of like it. A lot of optional stuff. It is a week where you could pull the boss with this. I don't know that it's worth the risk because usually the timer's pretty free at this point. Let me do the skip. I'm gonna do this pull if I'm on my bear. If I'm on my pally, I might be hesitant. Alright, let's add this before.
And yeah, I started doing that with bear, with monk, with pretty much most of my tanks. I think it's a
Nice.
good pull for most tanks.
I think it's good because if you do this, then everyone uses every cooldown on it, and if you don't, then like you get like half and half or like some weird shit. Like if you do all of this, like you just blast it and you run at the end, which is pretty much like you're always running from these bears anyway, like towards the end of the pull. So I don't know, I like it. I will forever love that pull. Then we got this room, and that's exactly 100. I like it. How do you feel about like this layout? That's kind of what you do, I think, right?
Yeah, it's very close to it. I mean, I still put those middle guys there. It's just something I think it's ingrained into me, but I could probably.
Oh, okay.
I
And
could
then
get
leave out
behind
some
not pulling them.
groundskeepers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't know, I like the groundskeepers because I usually like, obviously, you know, I play bear mostly if I'm tanking like important keys. So like these groundskeepers are just like free thrash shields for me, so I prefer them to these. Plus I mean, you play melee in the groups that I run, and you know I fucking hit everyone with this frontal. So if I can get rid of one frontal, it's I potentially save a life. I'll forever be cleaving people with this shit. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this without
I
looking
always
at my
forget.
notes.
Mini boss room doesn't spawn orbs, does he? Like the.
Oh
all the
fuck, it
ads in there.
does. It does.
Yeah, that's okay. I thought it did. Yeah,
So
that could be very spicy.
I think what I would like to do is like, if you're the tank, run here and tank him here, and then one of the ranged is in charge of orbs in the back, and then everyone else is killing the ads, I guess. But it's having one person stand in the middle and do the orbs is a little too sketchy in my opinion. It's good to like cut it in half, I think, or everyone kill the orbs in their section, but some people just see all the targets and they just go ape shit and they don't kill orbs.
Yeah, for sure. If you're pugging, you've got some people in your group, definitely have them set up a strategy for that, because most likely the DPS that are in there with you will just kind of ignore that.
Yeah. And usually what I found, like what happens in pugs is like, usually in the first couple pulls, it's like established who's going to be doing the bombs. Like if you're pugging and you don't get any bombs in the first 2 minutes, you're kind of like, okay, I'm free. Like I'm not doing bombs. And if you're pugging and you click the bombs and then you stop like 3 minutes in and people die, they're gonna be like, well, what the fuck? Why'd you stop? I don't know. That's the vibe that I've always gotten from bombs. I think the orbs like should be healer and tank. I think orbs should be like healer job if possible, and then like tank help, and then like ask for help as needed. I think, because I think usually like the tank's gonna be like a little. I guess you can kill him while you're kiting. That's fine, but the tank's gonna be a little bit preoccupied with the raging stuff, and the healer's probably doing the least amount of damage. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad opinion.
For sure. Tank is definitely preoccupied. I mean, we can always get the ones that are close to us. I think once it becomes raging and we're having to kite, then it's definitely whoever's at range's job, because we're not going in close to get whacked by a bunch of raging animals.
Right. A good week to break out the old mouse over macro. I have them all linked in my Discord. I think, right? Yeah, there's a macros tab in my Discord. Just copy and paste and then cut out whatever your ability, or cut out the ability and put whatever yours is. And I mean, I use mouse over macros just anyway, like my Moonfire, like for pulling stuff. But this week especially, it's really good. There's also a weak aura that like, actually there's a details setting now that tracks how many explosives people kill, I think. But I still use the weak aura that shows it. Just that way you can kind of have an idea of how well you're doing. Hopefully use it for good and not for evil, but you know, sometimes you gotta flame people, you know. I think that's about it for the routes, and then normally do like who's the pressure on the most. I think the pressure is kind of on everyone. It's really not rule specific. It's like whoever your orb person is, I guess.
Yeah, the pressure's on the oil person, but I would think the pressure's on all the DPS and the tank as well, because it's all about everybody timing out whatever CCs and everything, holding everything that they would normally bust out early in a pull till later in the pull now.
It's a big team effort week for sure. Like, this is a week where, like, if your communication is shit, it's gonna show. And if it's really good, you're gonna have a good time. Or if you just luck out and you get, like, a pug DPS that just owns explosives. Who's good this week? Anything like Druid and Hunter and Rogue are all like pretty OP. Mainly Druid. Like if you have like a bear tank or like a Resto, like because Resto Druid you can one shot him with Moonfire with the insane range, and you could soothe stuff, and you have knock and you have vortex. So like that's pretty sick. Resto Shaman is pretty good because you have all those slows and roots. Like you can basically, like I've been playing my Shaman a bit. Like I'll definitely play my root totem. So you have like your slow totem and your root totem. So you could just help your tank kite forever. If they're out of your totem for any reason, you could just frost shock them. It's a good week for like concussive shot. Like a lot of hunters don't press that, but like I always try just concussive shot the one that's closest to your tank, and then it'll just slow it down a little bit and like keep it with the rest of the group. I don't know, help your tanks.
For sure. I think Monkey's good for certain. Well, I mean, Brewmaster's really good for a lot of things. Their Crashing Lightning can take out any explosives that are coming up. Having Ring is always great, and their Leg Sweep is also really good. That's one of the reasons I say DK. I mean, tanks should be on explosives as well, because most of them, like even DKs, have Death's Caress, something they could just throw out real quick to kill an explosive if need be.
Right. Yeah, that's good for sure. Cool. All right. Well, I believe that's about it. Good luck on your keys, everybody. And bring a soothe. That's pretty much the main thing. Don't be like, I feel like usually in the first like one day or two of the week, you're going to get in a dungeon, you're going to go, oh no, we don't have a soothe. Or you're going to go, I mean, I'm just talking pugs mainly, but, or you're going to go, oh, this hunter doesn't know he has trank shot. That's happened a bunch. But yeah, fun week overall. I think maybe I'll break out the bear, or I'll be healing Drand and some high keys. It's a pretty fun week for pushing keys. But how's your DKIO? I haven't even checked. Are you like trying to push on any specific tune, or?
I've been pushing on the DK a little bit harder. I'm trying to get my last 20 on the monk just to get that finished up. But then after that, it's
Well, you need mist.
DK's at 2195 now, so getting there.
What do you need mist? Someone needs mists, I think.
No, it's Sanguine.
Sanguine. Okay. Not too bad. Cool. All right. Well, peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Drand, for being the guest. Appreciate you.
No problem.
See you guys next time.